Hey everyone, it's Analytical Chick.
Oh, well, people need to be awake and they need to be aware. They need to stand up against.
So today we are going to have an article review. So this article was sent to me by a small YouTuber that I recently found named Solving Politics. And so it's basically, now my thumbnail for this is kind of like right-wing donors don't care, and that's kind of a duh, but same thing with his article. If they cared, we'd beat big tech. I would dispute some of this and agree with some of it. So we're going to go through a little bit of the article. So the Koch brothers, the Marshalls, the Adelsons, the Schwabs, Cameron, so on and so forth. These are some of the mega-rich Republican donors who are continuing to prop up the status quo ante on the political right, scarcely realizing their financial contribution will all become irrelevant by the monopoly of big tech in a few short years. I've talked about this on my channel. Myopia is rife on the left, yes, or on the right. Yes, it is. Especially within the realm of the nationalist, populist, Trumpian right. I'm not so sure about that. I would say more so the neocon right, not the populist right, but the neocon right. And we have almost no strength to in depth in our squad, and we're constantly getting rolled by the powers that have previously been and who want back in, or the Democrats and the neocons. I mean, that's the problem, is the neocons are just too much in bed with the Democrats. So we aren't building the same institutions that the establishment left has built. This is true, like they're in the schools, they have a chokehold on the media. So, and right here, I want to hone in on this phrase. I'll be less opaque. We won a battle, but we're losing the war. And this line right here also, this is mostly because our side doesn't know how to do much. And even the few wealthy types on our teams aren't riding into battles. This is true. But one of the things I want to hone in on is there's kind of, on the right, everybody just says we can't do anything because we don't have money. And I am going to argue with that. I am going to say we could do more if people who have a significant amount of followings would actually organize people. I mean, even without being organized, there's things that we can do. Now, like, there's a channel/Twitter that I subscribe to /follow, which I've talked about, Magdalene Rose, and she always talks about what the GOP needs to get the youth vote. You know, at this point, it's like, enough. How many followers does she have? She has, here we go. She's up to 28,000 followers. Organize your followers. You know, even without money, there's a lot you can do if you can organize people. You know, stop complaining about what the GOP isn't doing. Stop relying on the GOP and organize your followers and try to... She may have trouble getting donations, but maybe she can get donations like from her followers and so on and so forth. So one of the things this guy talks about is he and Will Chamberlain. Will Chamberlain. He and Will Chamberlain were trying to set something up. If you don't know who Will Chamberlain is, so he is a lawyer who talks about like free speech issues and stuff like that. Tim Pool has had him on quite a few times. So there's another YouTuber, Lior. He's like also a free speech YouTuber. YouTuber Law, I think is his channel. And so shout out to him. I'm on his Discord server. But I don't know if Tim Pool's ever had him on, but Tim Pool has this Will Chamberlain guy on a lot. And I think I've seen Will Chamberlain on other places, but I've definitely seen him on Tim Pool. But anyway, and this guy who wrote this article that I'm reading is Raheem Kassam. So I'll link the actual article. You know, I mean, the rest just goes on to complain. They don't give us money. They don't give us money. And my response to that is, yeah, money can help, but start organizing your followers. Do what you can. Quit complaining and do what you can, because this is what the left did. This is what I say. Like, I started when I woke up politically watching the left, and when they have no money, when they don't have donors set up, they organize their people. When they have money, they organize their people. They organize their people. They get their people in a group and they go, this is what building power looks like. Because they understand that organizing people, it's votes, we do not do that. And one of the problems is when we try to organize our own people, our own side won't be organized. So you have people who follow someone like her, and she could probably, Magdalene could probably organize. She has 28,000 followers, but like, I've tried to organize people. I've tried to get stuff going, and people are just kind of like, you're no one, you're not famous enough, screw you, you know. So another thing I wanted to talk about was like, okay, so we have, New York City is notoriously leftist. But this is the Republican woman who ran against de Blasio for mayor. So I will occasionally check her page. And, you know, there's, she's getting less comments. But, like, after she ran, she was still getting more comments. And, oh, here. So this is actually a retweet. But, from the fire department. But still, some of these, she retweets stuff that's like local issues that's from a Republican slant. Sometimes it's like New York Post articles or articles about de Blasio doing cringy things. She'll either retweet them and so on and so forth. So it's a very good place to go into the comments and potentially find people. And sometimes I don't, but that's one of my forms of activism. I found a few people, and I've invited some people to the Republican clubs. So like the Republican club in my area, I've invited people that I found from Twitter or from Facebook. I go into groups. Now in New York City, there's a lot of people bashing de Blasio. Everyone bashes de Blasio. It's not considered a bad thing to bash de Blasio. So when people are bashing de Blasio particularly hard, either on her feed or in Facebook groups, I will like private message them and be like, oh, hey, come to the Republican club. Now sometimes they reply back, oh, I'm a Democrat. But, you know, no harm, no foul. They sort of, you know, they're usually kind of reasonable. I don't know. Like, one person was, they might be mean, but I don't have my pictures on Facebook, so whatever. But I try not to post this stuff publicly because somebody started a big stink and I did get kicked out of one group because I stuck up for what was right. And one of the moderators, I messaged him, he said my ban was overturned, but it's not. So, yeah, anyway, that's enough of this video. I'll link this in the description. Find out, but that's what I was getting at. Find out who, if you're still on Twitter, find out who your Republican politicians are in your area, follow them. Look at, like, your congressperson, look at your politicians, look at the discussions. Very local, like a city councilwoman. My city councilwoman doesn't really get comments except for when that incident with the, anyway, there was an incident, but the commenters were probably not from the area. Anyway, but my congresswoman posts bragging about how she's, pro trans rights and stuff. And I'll look, and occasionally I can find someone in the comments who's like, I'm in your congressional district and I don't agree with you, which I also periodically put that on her Twitter. But it'd be nice if I could organize some of the Republicans from her district for all of us to do it as a group, and I've tried. People won't do it. I mean, most of the Orthodox Jews aren't on Twitter, so they're not really they're on Facebook. But, like I said, one of the problems is that people won't be organized, but the other problem is the people who have the power to organize people won't organize them. So I wish more of the YouTubers would, you have these huge followings, like, organize people and do something. Like, you don't have to do the stuff that the left does. I wouldn't dox people or try to get people kicked off a platform, but get people to push back. Get people to, like, go out and comment all over, communism killed over 100 million people or stuff like that, Anyway, if you're interested in activism, if we can get enough people, join my Discord. I'd like to get some activists on my Discord, and I would like to, have a day, one day a week where, we can go drop a bunch of comments on, like, another YouTube video that's not on the right or something. So I'll put a link to my Discord in the chat and a link to the article. Thanks everyone for stopping by my channel. Channel updates. There's been, I think it's the same person. Shout out to Zelix, who comments on almost every video of mine. I think he's the one who really likes my intro/outro. The intro is really just like the beginning of it. So I am working on editing up some graphics, like video, and I'll release the whole song eventually when I finish it. So I've been working on that. So, anyway, thanks everyone for stopping by my channel. I will see you all next time.
People need to be awake and they need to be awake and they need to be aware. They need to stand up against the stuff. People need to be awake. People need to be awake and they need to be aware. They need to stand up against this stuff.
And it's so politically engaged. And it's so politically engaged.